All right. So, as you guys are joining us, I'm jumping in. We have a question to get started with. And the curiosity that we are in is why are you here? And so, we're going to invite you right here, right now in the chat to let us know why are you here? Beautiful. Dominica is here for a rebirth. Feels in alignment for Wade. Yes. Beautiful. Why would I not be? I love this, Ronnie. Of course, where else would you be? And that actually reminds me just to say thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you who has chosen to spend your very precious, very beautiful time with us. We know that 3 o'clock Central Time on a Thursday is a precious time for you to really be in your creation. And so we just are so grateful, both Dima and myself, and speak for both of us, that we're so grateful that you have chosen to spend this sacred time with us. And what we are excited to get out of this with you is it's a beautiful opportunity for re-identification, right? To rebirth ourselves. And I think probably many of us just easily in going into the new year are starting to think about what no longer serves us, what no longer wants to come into 2026 with us, and how are we rebirthing ourselves? And this is such a fun opportunity with branding, is because a personal brand really is the essence of you, right? And so it's just saying thank you guys for going on this exploration journey with us. So let's see here. Tatiana says, learning from the best. Let's go. Yes. Leanne says, because I have no idea what I'm doing with my brand. Perfect space for you to be here. Rhonda, express what's inside of me externally,
Love that.
consistently. Yes, beautiful. Jan, getting to know and feel you for possible future work. Okay, let's go. Thank you. Rachel says, it just spoke to me. I love that. Zoe says, love the way you teach about the soul of branding, and I'm desiring a big rebrand, feeling the rebirth. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Nick, it's always great to be around people actually doing the shizzle with passion. We're always doing the shizzle with passion. That's for show. Lola, because this is it. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So many beautiful answers coming in. So we've given it a few minutes. I believe that those who are here for a reason. We've all come together at this particular moment in space and time to revamp something that feels so precious to us, which is our brand. And so let's dive on in here, you guys, shall we?
So,
Mhm.
welcome everyone to our first live masterclass for Signature Soul Brand. We're so excited to have you here with us. And we started this with the question, and if you're just arriving, also type in the chat with why are you here? And we invite you to contemplate this as we start our masterclass today in a deeper way as well. So why are you here? Of course, why are you here spending this hour with us? And also, why are you here on this planet? Why do you exist? Why do you do what you do? Why do you be who you are? So really contemplate that. Why are you here? And we're going to start with our core belief, why you're here. And it starts with just as simple as this. You are here to be. We believe that you are here to be as a human being. And it goes deeper than that you are here to be you. You are here to be you, to fully express. And this is Signature Soul Brand. So we believe that you are here to be you, to fully express your soul. You are here to be you, to fully express your soul. You are here to beautifully express your soul. That's why we believe that every one of us is here on this planet while you're here. And it's the core belief behind what we teach and what we do for our clients, for those we serve, and for those that we get to share these lessons with, because we believe that we're here to build a beautifully expressed world together, one person and one brand at a time. And we believe that a beautifully expressed world creates a better world where everyone gets to be happier because they're more fulfilled with their core reason for being.
Yeah, so, we are here to help you guys to learn in the process of discovering how to design and refine your signature soul brand that stands out as an iconic brand on the internet. But more than that, something that I've been noticing over the years of being in the brand and website design space and being an artist as well, is that so many of us are so passionate. We're so multi-gifted, right? Like, give me a heart in the little, what is it called, the reaction buttons, or say yes in the chat if you feel like you are here to, create in so many different ways. Like maybe you are a artist in photography, and then on the side you also are working with passionate entrepreneurs creating their online courses. And maybe you are also helping to run an ice cream truck driving business, right? It's like there's so many different ways that you could be expressing yourself. And what I've noticed over the many years is that we used to want to just fit ourselves into these little tiny branding niche boxes that is like, here is my message. Here is what I do. I am here to serve this in this way. And we are becoming these multi-passionate, multi-gifted, what I like to call multi-dimensional beings. And so it's been part of my big mission in this world and in this lifetime is to help you guys in this beautiful way of how do I bring all of my mini gifts into my one brand channel. And, I don't just do that from experience of saying, like, here's how you do it. I do it in my own life as well. And so, what I want you guys to get out of here today is to find this beautiful essence that is you through your visuals, your style, and your messaging that's going to help you to bring all of your many gifts into your one brand channel so you can stop feeling confused about how you're presenting yourself to the world. And so, when you do this right, and what I found in my own embodied experience of this is that when you do this right, you find that one message, that one brand channel, that one expression of how your soul wants to express to the world. It doesn't just amplify your authority. It doesn't just put you as a leading authority across many verticals. It also helps you to amplify your influence, your impact, and your income. So give me a yes in the chat if you guys are up for that. You're ready to bring all of your mini gifts into your one brand channel. You're ready to amplify your authority, your influence, your impact, your income. This is about to be a journey of discovery. And so I'm so excited to go on this journey of refining your style, your aesthetics, your messaging, so that we can upgrade that identity of yours together. So you're no longer in an identity crisis. We're moving into iconic expression.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you have
yes.
to upgrade your brand from identity crisis, which is oftentimes who am I? And the marketplace is asking who am I, to iconic and truly standing out in a way that expresses all of who you are and amplifies your authority. So also in your business positions you as the go-to solution to who you serve.
Mm,
So to reintroduce ourselves, so I'm Dimitri. I'm the Chief Expression Officer, the CEO and founder here at Influx. We'll get into a little bit of what Influx is and what we stand for in a moment, because that's actually our signature soul brand as a company. And Carla here as our brand director and as Avatara. Uh,
yeah. And I'll describe a little bit of my journey just really quickly, just so you guys can kind of come into my world. As I've been in this branding space and I've worked with, countless entrepreneurs, creators in the branding space, and I've always kind of been the one whispering into the ears of influencers, entrepreneurs. I'm the visionary behind a lot of brands that you're probably, personal brands and company brands that you're probably familiar with. And there was one moment in my life, it came, it always comes in stages, right? We're always rebirthing ourselves. But for me, it was like last year, it was New Year's Eve. I'm not just a branding person, I'm also a DJ, a music producer. I do a lot of things across a multitude of many places. And I was DJing that moment between 11:59 and midnight, the ball drop moment between this extraordinary moment. And I realized that this was one of the happiest places that I was, but I wasn't ever putting myself out there as like, I'm a DJ. I'm going to do this thing because I had this identity of like on my Instagram and on my social channels and on my website, I need to just be seen as a brand director because that was my job, right? It was so much more than a job, of course. But I had this epiphany. It's like, I want to be expressed as all of me. I want to give all of myself to the world. I want to be utilized fully. I want to put my head on the pillow at night and feel like God has utilized me in all of my many multidimensional gifts. And as soon as I made that promise to myself and said yes to fully giving myself, and if you would go onto my Instagram, if you go onto my channels, you see I'm promoting something called Base Church, and then I'm promoting Signature Soul Brand, and then I'm promoting my DJ experiences, and then it's like I'm in this gift and I'm in this utilization, and because I'm feeling like I'm being utilized because I said yes to being fully utilized. And I just give you that story because it's like that moment. I blew up as a DJ in Austin. I like started producing music and putting it out there, and I started really allowing myself to be seen. And I thought that that would kind of confuse my audience. It didn't confuse my audience. And so I want you guys to feel this permission right here, right now. And that's the reason I share this story, is because when we give ourselves the fullness of permission, permission to activate all parts of ourselves and not get scared to be in this, what's my identity? Where am I going to be playing? But like give all of yourself and you get to be the authority in all of those places. Give me a yes in the comments if you're feeling that activation and you're ready for this. Your full gifts as the brand that you've come here to be, do, and have. Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes. And as Carla's partner, I've gotten to witness that journey and see how she's brought all of her passions into this one brand channel. And in the process, she became so much better at serving our clients with fully expressing themselves through their brands. And if you follow Carla on social media or know her in person, you see that everywhere she goes, she's a bright expression of that brand. And that's a lot of what we're here to help you do. So at Influex, as a company, as an agency, uh, part of how we introduce ourselves, and we'll go into a little bit of this for you guys of purpose and promise. So our brand promise, this is what we do. We design iconic brands and world-class websites that express your essence and amplify your authority. I believe they're more than just brands and websites, that they get to express the essence of who you are. So discover the essence of who you are, which we'll talk about as the first step, and express that through your brand and website. And amplify your authority means they get to position you as the go-to solution for who you serve. And so we get to do this for industry icons and influencers. We've been doing this for the better part of 10 plus years. And we've done this for we'll share some of those examples. But we've gotten to do this for very recognized names and larger companies. And it's always been such a unique joy because behind the scenes, what we get to do, it's more than just website strategy. It's more than just branding. It's discovering who they are at the core. And that's why the work that we do ends up standing out as not just so unique, but as resonant to who they serve. So really our focus today is to start to reveal and teach and give you some of the tools, thought process, and questions for how to do that for yourself so that you can define and your design your own iconic brand identity that expresses your essence, that gets to the core of who you are and amplifies your authority, so positions you as the go-to solution in the marketplace for who you serve, so that you can increase your influence, your impact, and your income. Because Influex is based on this belief. When I first named Influex, it was actually through the combination of these two words and how they work together, influence plus expression. Because we believe, and a lot of our brand is also what we believe, and your brand gets to be a representation of what you believe. And we believe that your greatest influence impact, and income comes through your fullest expression. And when you discover who you are at your core and then get to express that through your brand in an intentional and refined way, that fullest expression is actually where you can earn your greatest income, how you can have your greatest impact, and how you can expand your influence so that you can create more of the world that you wish to see. So drop us a heart in the channel if this is resonating with you so far. If your beliefs align with ours around bringing your fullest expression to the world.
I'm also curious out there when you're dropping things into the chat, and tell us who out there already feels like you have a personal brand that feels like it's really resonant for you right now. I'm just curious, like who out there already feels like I've got this personal brand, this is rocking. Tell me who out there feels like you have a personal brand, and then who out there feels like you're in a rebirth. Maybe you're like ready to rebrand, you're ready to come into the next evolution of who you are. Or
Yeah.
third
Or
question,
upgrade.
or who has never really thought about creating a brand before, but now you're starting to think about it, you're starting to feel into it. You're like, I understand that now in this day and age, a brand is essential, and I'm ready to step into that. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you have a brand, whether you've intentionally built it or not. So
Hmm.
that's something we're going to talk about next is really like what is a brand? So let's hear what we've got for answers. Tarek, love it. Definitely rebirthing. Um,
Hmm.
Nick literally just dropped into my own brand with full resonance. Took ages though. Yeah, it's quite a process, isn't it?
Hmm.
Um, Gabby's awesome. Best relationship and life coach ever. Been working with Gabby for a while, so thank you for being here, Gabby. Like my brand, but also in a rebirth for next evolution. For Better Love is my current brand. Been working on a new one called Lux Love. Ooh, excited to hear about that.
Love
Um,
that.
Jan, internal, everything is clear, but not yet expressing it, right? And that's so common that internally you're like, feel like I'm clear. But when you look at your social media presence, you look at your website, and sometimes even how you dress and show up in the world, you're like, oh, this isn't an authentic expression of who I am now.
Mm.
Um, and so, yeah, love it. Ronnie, I also love Ronnie, just total alchemist sensei, ninja with the body and soul. And so mine is a solid reflection of who I am, but I've been who I've been and most of who I am, but there's another level of refinement for who I'm becoming in 2026, right? And that's exactly what we get to talk about today, because it's about designing, defining, and refining your signature soul brand. So we're going to drop in this question. Before we share what we believe a brand is, would love to hear from you guys. What is a brand? And there's no right or wrong answer here. What is a brand?
Mhm.
Wait, image.
Mhm.
Absolutely, that's part of it.
Mhm.
It's your image.
Mhm.
Love that. We'll definitely talk about that. It's the visual and the message of you. Shell, a clear channel of who you are and what you bring to the world. Very aligned so far.
Mhm.
Tatiana, yes, how others perceive you. Perception is a huge part of a brand. We'll talk about that today.
Mhm.
Matt, I feel like a brand is the energy you put out and open yourself to receive. Jan, representation of who I am that becomes a projection space for my clients. Oh, I love that. East, it can be a frequency. It's what you conjure up in others when they connect with you. Zoe, an expression and an essence and a message and an invitation uh, into the frequency and lifestyle to those who feel drawn to it. I love it. So there's a common thread in a lot of these answers. And it's so far we're very aligned with our core philosophy because what we believe a brand is the bridge. That we believe that your brand is the bridge between who you are and who you serve. Who you are at the soul level and the personality level, and who you're here to serve, which is really how, when you build that bridge really well, that's how you both express your essence and amplify your authority. And it's not just about full self-expression, but it's also full self-expression in a way that resonates with the people that you choose to serve so that you can attract your ideal clients and customers and team members and press and opportunities and whatever it is that you're looking for, and bring more of the right people that you're looking to serve to you through your authentic resonance. So when you build a brand, you're really building a bridge between who you are and who you serve. And in other words, your personality, who you are, and your perception, how you're perceived in the marketplace.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a moment, right? Personality as like, and something that I just saw Ronnie speak into is that it's a living energetic totem. And I love the way that you put that, Ronnie. This living energetic totem, like so many of you have expressed, like you're constantly rebirthing yourself, right? And so your brand, I will say from my own life experience and from working with others, you're going to find that your brand does evolve. It's a living energetic expression that's consistently always evolving. And there's going to be particular pieces that you're going to find that are going to be these like signature parts of you that really do stay consistent. And so your brand is this bridge between your personality, which is your personality is something that is a living expression. And it's also a it's the bridge between your personality and the perception. So you're also getting to cast and create and what I like to call build a world. This is the most fun part of creating a brand. It's that you are being authentic in your personality, and simultaneously, it's almost like you are creating a manifestation board, right? A living vision of of a compelling future that you're living into and that you're birthing and creating. I'm going to say that one more time. You are creating a compelling vision of the future that you are then inviting others to live inside of. So I'm going to ask you, what's the world that you are building that is your compelling vision of the future? And so this anchoring bias is that people spend about 7 seconds seeing you on the internet or seeing you in real life or seeing you in person or getting to see you on stage or wherever they're experiencing you for the first time. And that's their very first impression of you. And that impression, unfortunately, doesn't change much. So even if you're growing and evolving, be aware that an anchoring bias is something that your audience, when they see you for the first 7 seconds, they're going to form 90% of their first impression of you is going to create, I'm sorry, it's going to create 90% of their full impression of you. So if you're constantly changing yourself, constantly rebirthing, it's going to be this experience of, well, I have this experience of who I believe them to be in the past. So when you're creating a brand, create a compelling vision that gives you an opportunity to grow inside of it. So your brand and your website, it's got to capture the attention and communicate trust and establish authority instantly. So that's something I want to just plug in here. It's yes, it's be this authentic living expression, and you can be very refined and very strategic as well. So it's a soul. So your brand is the bridge between your soul and your strategy.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And those first 7 seconds, even we'll go through a few examples of this, of somebody lands on a website and it's what's the first thing they see above the fold? And that is a lot of what influences whether they even continue to stay on the website. So with that, we're going to go into the 5 core components, the 5 steps to creating your signature soul brand, 5 core components of an iconic brand identity.
And how we came up with these is simply this is the process in which we take our high-end clients, our influx clients through, right? So we've really refined this process over time, and we are delivering it to you guys now in a way that you are going to be able to take it and do it for yourself. So that's
And I want to seed as we get into this that we're doing this. We're super excited to do this as a free masterclass. We are going to do more of these masterclasses because we love doing it and we love serving our community and stepping into teaching a lot of what we're doing behind the scenes. And at the end of this, firstly, we're going to stick around for some Q&A, potentially some hot seats. And at the end of this, we'll also have an invitation for you that we're starting in January of a small cohort for the Signature Soul Brand Inner Circle, where at a little fraction of the cost of what our clients pay us, we're going to have a group where we walk you through this step by step for 90 days. So
mm,
over the next hour or so here. We're going to walk you through the process. We're going to give you some examples. We're going to give you some tools to do for yourself. And we'll give you the opportunity to keep learning from us for free as well as we go deeper on these steps in an upcoming masterclass. And then also the invitation, if you feel called to go deeper with us and a group and community, to apply these 5 steps for yourself so that approximately 90 days into 2026, you can have an iconic brand identity, a signature soul brand that fully expresses who you are and amplifies your authority. So that way, without further ado, Carla, let's dive into the steps.
We've got the discover. That's the first step, which you guys are going to find out more about in just a moment. The define, design, refine, and align. So the discover your power character. This is one of my very favorite parts of this re-identity, this rebirthing process, is that when you're thinking about your brand here today, I'm going to invite you to feel into who your power character is. This is what I like to call your avatar. And this loops back into why my brand name is Avatara, is because every part of my message, every part of what it is that I'm creating, my one signature soul brand channel is inviting you to be your avatar state of being, be your power character. Everything else, everything that I offer, whether it's base church, whether it is signature soul brand, whether it is influence work, whether it's one-on-one coaching, doesn't matter what it is that I'm offering. What is the message that I'm helping people to refine is to be your power character, to step into your fullest expressed avatar state of being. And so that's a part of our journey that we're going to discover here today. The next piece is to define your purpose and your promise.
Yeah, and the best way, the best example I have of this, because we can go through a number of client examples and just notice how we introduced ourselves on this webinar, how we asked you to introduce yourself with why are you here? And that's really, in many ways, it's your purpose. It's your why. And we're here to build a beautifully expressed world. And we believe you're here to be you to fully express your soul. And the refinement of what that looks like for you specifically, that's your purpose. And your company, oftentimes, if you have a business that you're building, gets to be a reflection of that purpose. And then your promise, we believe this is your brand promise. This is what you do. And so what Influx, we design iconic brands and world-class websites that express your essence and amplify your authority. It's what we do because it serves our purpose of the world that we wish to see and our core belief. And then our core values and our services and our packages and pricing and everything that we do is aligned with that purpose to fulfill on that promise. And our process that we're going through right now is what helps us fulfill on that promise. So as you think about these for yourself, so you discover who you are and then you define that through why you're here and what you do and what your promise is.
Now, the next piece, right? We have discover, define, then we have design. And this is one of my favorite parts of this process, which is your signature soul style. I find that this is one of the most fun parts of this process. It's because now we've defined your power character. We've discovered who you are as the fullest expression of your beingness. Then we put that into a process of now you have your purpose, your values, your mission, these bigger parts of you that define who you are in the world and define the inner core of why you've come here onto the planet. And then we put it all into this beautiful aesthetic mix that allows for you to design this style that is yours. And this style, what you're seeing here is a little back end of one of our clients, Jenna Phillips Ballard, where we create the colors, the aesthetics, the fonts, the motifs, the typography. We're bringing it all together to give her soul this beautiful vision in these colors in all this different beautiful way. And everyone's so different, right? That's the fun part about it, is that the exploration of finding your style, it's not just for your Instagram. It's not just for your digital presence. It's also for your style, for how you dress. And that's something that I'm going to get into today, is that we're not just going to define your power character, we're also going to start to refine your style. And so let's keep going here. So your signature style, what that includes inside of this bigger process, it's really defining your mood board, your iconic logo, your colors, your typography, your design motifs, We dig into your photography, which is why we're going to go into style today, because I'm pretty sure that once you guys have rebirthed yourselves into this new year, into this new brand, you're probably going to want to get a brand photo shoot, which I'm going to give a big shout out to Lola, who's on this call right now, who specifically does signature personal brand photo shoots. And it's also really about your website header, which Dima's going to help you guys to get into what we like to call your headlines from the heart in just a little while. And that's where your style comes into your social.
And if you stay till the end for your photo shoot specifically, we'll also have a special gift for you, which is the exact guide that we use to work with top photographers and our clients. We have a step-by-step guide about how to tell a story through your photo shoot with all the shots you need, the examples. So we'll send a link for that at the end.
Yeah, and here's just another quick example of another epic client, build, prove, sell, who we did a VIP experience with, right? And so it's about really refining the colors, and you can see how that comes into their mood board, which then moves so beautifully into their header for their website, that came out to really refine who they are. And this is like when you are in their presence, this header, when you come into this header of their homepage, like this is how they feel in real presence, right? And so we're about to talk about that a little bit more. Next step of the process is called refine. So this is your messaging, what we like to call your messaging manifesto. This is all about refining your brand tone, your keywords of your brand, your messaging themes, your sound bites, your brand phrases, your focus verbs, right? It's like I could be talking about Base Church, or I could be talking about Influex, both very different price points, both literally completely different offerings, but they're when they express from me, because I have defined my messaging manifesto, it's going to express in a very similar way where you can feel my soul, feel my essence coming through. And so the messaging manifesto includes your brand headlines, your brand beliefs, your authority, what we call your authority amplifiers, your voice and tone, your vocab's do's and don'ts, right? Your sound bites and quotes, your origin story, and your audience and avatar. And then final step of this process is what we like to call align. So it goes discover, define, design, refine, align. And this is your digital presence strategy. So it's across all of the board, right? It's your website, it's your website is expressed. It's how your strategy of how you're bringing people from your socials into your web presence. So it's all about, see how we start with soul, your power character. It's the bridge from your soul, and we end with aligning with your strategy, the bridge between your soul and your strategy. Let's get into this brand hack called your multi-dimensional identity, because I'm pretty sure you guys are all multi-dimensional creatures on here. I'm going to ask you guys to take a moment and write into the chat, because everything is based on our feelings. I'm going to ask you guys here right now, if you need to take a moment to close your eyes, take a deep breath, center in. Just take that moment, center ground here. Find that inner core part of you that is so in your fullest expression, in your fullest magnetism, in your fullest magnitude, in the fullest deep part of who you are. And I want you to feel yourself for a moment, okay? Feel yourself for a moment. Feel your energy. Feel your presence. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to flip that and to ask yourself and to get curious here now. How do you want your audience to feel when they experience you? So whether they see you standing on a stage giving a stage talk, whether they find you through your website, whether they're seeing you on socials for the very first time, how do you want your people, your audience, someone who's new to your world, to feel? What's the activation that you are giving to these people? And it could be a bunch of different words. Just do a stream of consciousness into the chat. How do you want them to feel in your presence? Seeing Jan says sovereign, deeply connected, individuality. Rhonda says ignited, alive, amazed, inspired, blown away. Yes, Teddy. Activated, empowered, expressed. Ooh, the MIE, the motivated, inspired, encouraged, inspired, Yes, yes, yeah. Inspired is a good one for all of us, isn't it? Awake. We've got to always leave them thinking, I never thought of it that way. Ooh, interesting. I want them to feel childlike play, energized, seen, heard, loved, connected. Yes, beautiful, you guys. So good, so good, so good. Now, this is such an important piece of the puzzle when we're thinking about our power character, because in my right here, right now, I want to invite you guys to embody that feeling that you just wrote into the chat. So if you want your people to feel inspired in your presence, how does it feel in your body right here, right now, to feel inspiring? Feel that for just a moment. Mariana says activated, elevated. How does it feel to feel activated and elevated in your embodiment in this moment? Yes. I want to bring sheer fuckery to the women I'm lighting the fires in. I don't know how to decipher that, but how does that feel in your body, in your embodiment right here, right now? Strong, powerful, grounded, inspired, seen. So feel this right here, right now, right? You are so powerful. Your soul is so powerful that you have the ability to summon feelings. How cool is that? That you have the ability to summon this. And guess what, guys? The reason why I bring this into a first part is that more people are going to buy based on their feelings than based on their mind. I want you to think about I want you to think about the last thing that you bought based on desire alone, right? It's like your mind might have come in and said, wow, that's really expensive, or that's really, or maybe I shouldn't be buying this, or maybe it's not the right thing. But you had a desire inside of your body. Your feelings took over, and you're like, this is the option that I'm going to choose right here, right now. Right. And so you're going to want to think about this, that as you activate feelings from your brand, it's going to create a connection for your audience to feel the desire to be in your space. So we want to feel attractive to our audience, right? Yes, Tarek says mine says expensive, soul says expansive. That's what's
Mm.
as the go-to authority in your space. Even if you have multiple verticals of offering, it starts with the feeling, right? It starts with the feeling of what you're here to give. So you got to start with the mood. So let's talk a little bit about this, you guys. We're going to go into a little bit of an exercise, and it's all going to be based on feelings. So I'm going to pull up a couple of different mood boards that I've created in Pinterest because I love using Pinterest. And as I scroll through these, I want you to use your feelings. How do you feel when you see this mood board right here? Drop it into the chat. How do you feel? Light, clean, calm. So as I go through these different mood boards, I'm going to invite you guys to notice if it activates or it makes you feel that those words that you just wrote into the chat as the feeling that you want to activate inside of others. So as you're feeling this, what do you feel? And does it resonate with that part of how you want to activate others? Now, you guys, if this does resonate, how you want to act or how you want to activate others, write a 1 down in your journal or make sure you make a mental note. 1, okay? Now we're going to keep going, guys. Are you ready for this? Number 2, how does this make you feel? I want you to write it into the chat. And does it resonate with the word or the words that you just wrote into the chat? Or if it doesn't, does it activate something in you? And if it does, and you're like, this feels like it's a representation of something that I hold, it feels like a representation of something that I feel, I want you to write a 2 down. Okay. Adventure, expansive, bold. Yes. All right. Here we go, guys. Are you ready? Let's go on to number 3. Let's write it down. So how does this make you feel when you see these different this different mood. This is a completely different mood than the last one, right? The last one had some boldness in it. This one, how does this make you feel? It's still dark. It still has this, dark kind of branding to it, but it feels very different than the last one. Smart, serious, grounded. If this one resonates for you and the feeling words that you're writing down are similar to the feeling words that you put into the chat, or it activates something deep in you and you're like, yes, this feels right. Write down a 3. All right, let's go on. Number 4. This is a little different. Go ahead, write down, how does this make you feel? Completely different vibe, completely different feeling. And does it resonate? Does it feel intriguing to you? Safe, childish, homely, warm? Yeah. So what I'm doing with you guys right now is I'm activating a part of you that is deciphering how images, symbols, colors, typography, how it all activates a feeling inside of you. And that is the core of branding, right? Feelings. You wouldn't even think that typography would activate something deep, a feeling inside of you, but it gives a certain character, right? So write down a 4 if this feels resonant for you. Now let's go into 5. Totally different, totally different. What do you feel? Write it down in the chat. And if it feels like it activates something in you, or it feels like those feeling words are similar, go ahead and write down a 5. Beautiful. Outgoing, pop, expressive. All right, on to 6. Here we go. So this one's very similar to the last one, but again, has very different feeling, very different sensation, very different branding. So how does this make you feel? What comes alive inside of you when you're feeling into this? Beautiful. Artistic, creative, energy. Does this resonate with you? If so, write down a 6. Write it down or make a mental note if there's resonance in this expression. All right, here we go. Onwards and onwards we go. 7 it is. A little different, a little unique. How does this make you feel? Write it into the chat. And if it's resonant, write it down. Number 7. Beautiful, empowered, strong, heroic, triumphant, masculine, fast and furious, strong. Beautiful. Write it down. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, if it resonates. And just notice how this typography is so different than the other ones, right? So different. Different symbols, patterns. All right. Number 8 it is. Write it down, guys. Write down the feeling words that come alive for you, and then write down if this one resonates for you. Beautiful luxury, exclusivity, high-end, kings and queens. All right. Onwards we go, right? Has everyone got it? Written it down if it resonates? Onwards we go. Number 9. Totally different feeling, totally different vibe. Write it down in the chat. How does this make you feel? What comes alive? Cozy, home, neutral, or natural, warm, masculine, homey, grounded, outdoorsy. And does it resonate? Write down a 9 if this one is in resonance. All right, 3 more to go, guys. Here we go. Number 10. Let's go. Very different vibe, very different feeling. What comes alive? How do you feel when you see this mood board here? We got the rebel, trendy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Badass, provocative. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, you guys. Alternative. All right. So if it resonates, if there's a part of it, the feeling of it resonates with you, write it down. That was number 10. Number 11. Here we go. Very different feeling. Write it into the chat. What comes alive? Soft. Beauty. 11. Oh, you got it. That's 11 for you. Which one? Tatiana says, yep, that 11 definitely resonates. Simplicity, romance, romantic, supple, beautiful, sensual. Totally. Love it, girl. Mm-hmm. Now write it down, guys. 11. Does this one have a resonance? Does it feel like you? All right. Last but not least, we've got 12. I'm going to go through this one and final for the finale. Write it down if it feels like it resonates for you. And feel into the feelings. How does this make you feel? Divine, spiritual. Beautiful. Mysterious, galactic. Yes. Fun, magical. Beautiful. Spacey, sci-fi, magical. Awesome. All right, guys, write it down. 12 if that one resonates for you. Do a quick stop share. I want you guys in the chat now. Look at all of the different numbers that resonated with you. And I want you to write those down into the chat. All the different ones that were like, yeah, that one landed. That was it for me. That felt right. Write it down into the chat. So the reason I bring you through this particular exercise is because what has happened over the many years is that there are these 12 brand archetypes, first and foremost created by Carl Jung, and then over the years, then brought into the branding and marketing world. And what used to happen was that there used to be suggestion in the marketing and branding world that you choose one brand archetype, you understand their voice, you understand their vocab, you understand their style, you understand who they are, and then you brand yourself as one brand archetype. And I'm here, as I have said many times before, to remind you guys that we are now multidimensional creatures. We're moving into a paradigm where we are multifaceted, multi-gifted. And so I believe that if we can get really good at refining and finding not just one brand archetype, but the storyline that connects two, maybe three, maybe more brand archetypes, we have an opportunity here to bring our multidimensionality, our multifacetedness into our one brand channel. How does that sound, guys? If you could be all of yourself, not just one, but a layered collective story of the many different. So let me do a little reveal here, guys. So number 1, this is what we call the innocent brand archetype. If you put a 1 down into the chat, guys, then you likely have what's called the innocent. And the really cool thing about the innocent is that you then have an identity or an invitation to invite people into finding their own little slice of paradise. Okay, so write that down. If you have a 1, you are sincere, you are genuine, your language is optimistic, cheerful, joyful, you're wholesome, there's purity in you. It's very organic, right? So I'll go back into the innocent brand archetype, right? So their core desire is to bring people into their slice of paradise. Does that feel resonant in the feeling of the power character that you are designing and creating? Number 2, this is called the explorer brand archetype. Now, the explorer brand archetype is here to support in bringing people into their slice of freedom. So what is that feeling in you? If you have a core brand archetype as an explorer brand archetype, if you wrote 2 down, what is that feeling that you're bringing people into? It's freedom. You're giving people a slice of freedom. You're bringing people into freedom. You can see that this starts to activate that feeling of freedom. All right, guys, who had a number 3 in their archetype? This is what we call the sage. Now, the sage, their core desire, sage, every part of the sage is here to explore, right? They're exploring, but not like the explorer in the way of bringing you into freedom. They're here to explore, meaning they want to know everything about everything. It's knowledge. So, my curiosity for you, if you wrote 3 down, how are you using words? How are you using languaging to bring more knowledge into your audience? How are you exploring and how are you bringing more wisdom to your audience? It's a curiosity, teacher, expert, and thinker. All right, number 4. This is what we call the caregiver or the nurturer. Now, the caregiver and the nurturer, they're here to bring a sense of nurture into people's lives. So if you have the caregiver number 4 or the nurturer, I want you to ask yourself, how am I caring for my audience? How am I showing up as a power character that nurtures relationships, that nurtures an audience? Number 5, this is called the entertainer brand. You guys probably know by now that I probably have a little bit of the entertainer brand in my brand archetypes. If you've been to my Instagram or my personal spaces, it's bright. It's a lot of, energy. And what an entertainer wants to do is they want to bring joy and fun into everything that they offer. And so if you have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, if you've got 5, that means that you are here to create fun for your audience, to create joy, to create laughter, smiles. You're here to create more joy. Beautiful. All right, you guys. So number 6, we have what is called the creator brand archetype. I also have a creator brand archetype, right? This is the part of me that's actually behind the scenes doing the future visioning for my clients to create their brands. So if you have this creator brand archetype, what you're here to do is be a visionary for something that's never been seen in the world before. You're an innovator. You're here to bring something new. You're here to live on the cutting edge of creation. So I want you to ask yourself that as you're developing this new power character. If you have this creator brand archetype, how are you creating innovative experiences, places, spaces, technology for, and through your words, carving new experiences for others? This is what we call, this next one is called the hero brand archetype. This is the 7th. So if you had a 7, it means that you are here to do hard things. You're here to go through the challenge. You're here to break the mold, to move even when it's even when it's uncomfortable. You're here to be a leader in a way that you're here to pull through despite the pain or the challenge or the discomfort. You're here to win, but not win in an egoic way. You're here to really be the best part of yourself. You're here to win for your own personal mastery. That means you're here to hold others in their own personal mastery. So if you have this one, I'm going to invite you to ask yourself, as you create this power character, this brand, it's how are you inviting others into their own personal mastery? All right, number 8 here. Or is this 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8, we have the royal brand archetype. Now, the royal brand archetype is all about luxury. It's about leadership, leading from this place of authority, leading from this place of high-end expression. And so I'm going to ask you, if you have number 8 in your brand archetypes, then how is it that you're showing up as a leader, but in a refined way? You like organization. You like things to be in their places in this beautiful, luxurious way. You lean back, but you also lean forward and you're seen as a leader in your community. Number 9, this is what we call the citizen. It's kind of known also as the every girl, like the girl next door or the every guy. This is, it's an experience of Kind of like the CEO that wears the ball cap and jeans to the office. It's like you're not really wanting to be seen as someone that pops out and stands out. You're kind of wanting to be seen as one of the community. And so, what I'm going to ask you guys to do, if you have this one in your brand archetypes, is to ask yourself, how can I bring community together in a way that just feels like I'm bringing people home? I'm bringing people back to a sense of security, back to a sense of the community, of family, of warmth, of, enjoying a good cold beverage together around a fire, like a nice cider around a fire, something like that, that like gives you warmth in your body. So how can you create an atmosphere for your community that feels really warm and inviting? Where you're one of the guys. You're not like the standout, but you do it in a way that everyone feels like they have a part, they've got a place in the home. All right, number 10, you guys. This number 10 is what we call the maverick or the rebel brand archetype. And so this particular brand archetype, they're really here to kick some shit up, right? Really here to like cause a little bit of a scene. They're here to put their fist up in the air and say shit's not working and here's how I'm going to do it different. It's really like it's a I give a fuck so much that I don't give a fuck kind of experience. The rebel is the energy that is here to kind of put their hearts out there, to risk it all. And it's cool. It's a cool energy. And so if you have one of these brand archetypes in your brand archetype palette, then my invitation for you is like, how do you get a little bit more saucy? How do you get a little bit more like a little more edgy in your content and how you're presenting yourself on the internet. Because people are really magnetized to someone that's a little more on the edge, a little edgier. So that's my invitation for you guys. It's not about being a well-behaved woman, right? It's about being a little edgy, living a little on that edge. All right, let's go into our next. This is number 11. If you have this in your brand archetype, you're a lover, you have a lover brand archetype in your palette. And the lover brand archetype, it's really here to bring sensuality. Sensuality in the way of connection, like deep, beautiful connection, first and foremost with self and then with others. It's not necessarily about sexy, like you don't have to be sexy to have a lover brand archetype, but it is about that like experience. I want you to think about like what it feels like to like be in a warm bath. It's like it feels sensual. It feels you can like sm the smells and the tastes and the touch, and you are really like a five sensory kind of being that wants to bring beauty to the world through relationship and connection. And so if you have this, how do you bring more of that into your branding, this experience? And I could almost, invite you guys to use more words that actually like when you're speaking your story, use more descriptive words, words that bring people into the five senses as they read your content and explore your brand. And then finally, you guys, we have what's called the magician brand archetype. The magician brand archetype is all about magic, magic from the way of synchronicity, living in the synchronicity, living in the field of wonder. So you're bringing wonder into people's lives. You're allowing them this experience of visionary synchronicity, of being in that field of magic. And so I would love for you guys to consider if you have this as your brand as in your brand palette, how are you bringing more magic, synchronicity, manifestation into people's lives? All right, my friends. So, with that being said, I'm curious from you guys, just write in the chat, now that you know your different brand archetypes, how are you going to start to bring them in to your one power character? And I'm going to give you guys the best, most fun hack, and it's so simple and it's so easy. Write it down. Got to go into ChatGPT or whatever other AI source that you're using. Let them know, what are these brand archetypes that are your different, unique, significant brand archetypes? Say, hey, ChatGPT, let me know what you know about the creator brand archetype, if that's one of your brand archetypes. Let me know what you know about the magician brand archetype. Let me know what you know about the sage brand archetype. ChatGPT will write it all out, will let you know. And then you'll say, create a unique brand archetype for my brand. Say, for example, for the Avatara brand that now combines these three unique brand archetypes. That's the first step of this beautiful journey that I take you on to really identify this big, beautiful power character that you're bringing out to the world. That's the first step that I bring you on. But it's a really good starting place because it starts to give your brand the story of how do you bring your multidimensional essence, your multidimensional self into your one brand channel. And it's a good place to get started. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with, but that's a really good, fun place to get started.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Carla. And what's so amazing is as Carla walks our clients through this, and as she's just walked you through this, and you start to identify your brand archetypes and combine them into your own core brand archetype, that also starts to help so much with your messaging. So we shared earlier the core parts of a signature soul brand, an iconic brand identity are the visuals, visual brand identity, and the verbal brand identity, your signature style and your messaging manifesto. There's a lot of components to a messaging manifesto. So I want to give you just a few quick hacks for what I believe is the most important component. And this isn't necessarily where you start putting together your messaging manifesto, but when it comes to sharing yourself in the marketplace, whether it's the tagline on your Instagram profile or above the fold on your website, or even your elevator pitch and how you introduce yourself, we call these headlines from the heart. Why? Because we also believe that the what your heart is to your body, your brand is to your business. It's the center that really pumps to life to everything in your body, and then therefore in your business, in your organization, in the marketplace. So we call these headlines from the heart. And I'll go through a handful of examples so you can see how these look, what we've been able to do for our clients, and then start to think about what do I want above the fold on my website? What do I want? How do I want to introduce my brand in whether it's social media or in person, my core tagline in a way that becomes the bridge between who I am and who I serve. And it's more than just kind of a descriptive benefit headline, as many of us are taught to do in marketing. So there's four different hacks, four ways to do the headlines from the heart. And I'll go through a couple of examples of each of these and just note what resonates for you, because you can use any of these or a combination. So the first is your brand promise. We talked about that a little bit, so I'll give a couple of examples. Second is your brand belief. It's your brand is your stand. It's what do you stand for? What do you believe? The third is your iconic identity. It's who you are. And the fourth is your proven process. It's how you do what you do, how you deliver on your promise. So we'll go through actually a few live examples of each of these. The first one being your brand promise. So we share what our brand promise is, and I say it all the time. We design iconic brands and world-class websites that express your essence and amplify your authority. One of the really fun projects that we got to do a few years ago was for Joe Polish and Genius Network. For Genius Network, the brand promise, the promise is right above the fold in the website. The world's best entrepreneurs are here. Now there's more to what Genius Network is, and part of their brand belief is, and that's in a different part of the website is any problem can be solved with the right Genius Network. But when you see the world's best entrepreneurs are here, you're like, okay, that's a place that I want to be. Another one that I really love that is one of our current clients that we've been doing a lot of work with over the years, supporting with all of his launches, but built his website years ago. And the promise above the fold, now he could just say, hey, I'm the world's top dating coach for women, because in many ways he is, and he's a celebrity dating coach. But instead of leading with that, he's leading, Matthew Hussey is leading with the promise. It's get more than just dating advice. Fall in love with your life. And then enters a conversation. And when we did this on his website, it ended up quadrupling his conversions. Plus, instead of being sold to, you feel like you're entering a world and a conversation that you want to be a part of. And then it ends up leading you right into buying shortly afterwards. The next one, your brand belief. So your brand is your stand. It's It's essentially is what do you believe? And one of my favorite examples of this is Vin Jang. And what his core belief is when you change your communication, you change your life. So change your communication, change your life. It's both a promise and a belief. The belief is the number one way to change your life is to change your communication. And then goes into, again, combines it with the promise, elevate your relationships, confidence, so on and so forth. So it rotates through those. Next one being iconic identity. So uh, Dave Asprey, father of biohacking. So more than just the leader or creator or coined the term biohacking, but even what does the identity father mean? It means that he really takes care of and wants and holds the best for the entire industry, both having created and helped to birth that industry, but also really looking out for and helping it grow into its best self. So this, as an iconic identity, is more of who you are, father of biohacking in this case. And we shared Genius Network earlier, but for Joe's personal brand is one word. And if you guys think back to some of the one words that you shared earlier in this class, those could be the first thing that people see on your website. So for Joe, it's connected. It's who he is, and it's also what he stands for, and it's what his documentary is called. It's connected, and there it's also the world that he's bringing forth. And finally, your proven process, and your proven process can even be your brand. So Carla showed a signature style earlier of build, prove, sell, and shared some of like the visuals and warmth and connection that you got to experience here. But even the brand, build, proof, sell, the domain is actually their entire process, right? And the process also then leads to a promise. And process step one, build people and profit. Step two, you prove your model. Step three, you sell your story. Every business has a story. What's yours worth? And they're some of the best in the world at helping entrepreneurs and businesses have the best exits. But instead of saying on here, hey, we'll help maximize your valuation and have the best exit, what they share is their process, build, proof, sell. So what I would love to hear from you guys in the chat is whichever one inspires you, whether it's your identity, your process, your promise, um, how would you introduce yourself? And you get an opportunity right now to also introduce yourself to everyone else in this master class and to us. How would you introduce yourself in one quick line so we can start workshopping this together and you can get to know each other in a way that, wow, within less than 7 seconds, we now know what you do, who you are, why you do it, what the core value you bring is. And some of you answered earlier why you're here. See if you can go back to see if one of those answers inspires how you would introduce yourself. Or what do you do? If I ask you the question, what do you do? What value do you offer? So Zoe, yeah, to repeat, uh, the question is give a headline from the heart. Just workshop one real quick right on this masterclass. So a headline from the heart is how you introduce yourself from the core of your brand. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This doesn't have to be exactly what it'll end up going on your website. But if I was to give you one line of how to introduce yourself, what would you say? And I love Jan because I saw earlier you said the word sovereign. So I'm a sovereign catalyst, guiding you from success to significance and making a greater positive impact on the world. So I love that. You've got the iconic identity, right? Sovereign catalyst. You're the only sovereign catalyst I know that I've met. Um, and then you're putting in your promise. So your identity and promise, guiding you from success to significance and making a greater impact on the world. Tatiana, your brand belief. I love this. Your brand begins with your soul. And then your promise of what you do, branding for solopreneurs. I love that. And that's so resonant for what we stand for, what we teach. East, elevate your frequency, elevate your life. Yes, that's both a belief and a promise. And yet I also help people make money doing what they love from a place of infinite possibility, right? And that's adding to that promise. Gabby, I help couples and individuals and families too at times create more play, peace, and passion by loving better and better. So I love that in that you're describing like I help. This is who you serve and who you help, um, and what you help them create. And Gabby, what I would invite to potentially workshop is like there's probably some beliefs in there that it might be when you um, when you love better, your life has more peace, play, and passion, or something along those lines. But I would almost like sometimes if we start with I help statement, it's why asking ourselves a layer of why is that true and why is that true? And eventually we get to something that's like, oh, this is a core belief. This is if I was to just have a few seconds to say something to a stage of 10,000 people, what would I say? Because that's what gets to go above the fold on your website. Tarek Ruleva, I'm a permission slip and guide for an authentically expressed life. Yes.
Yeah, I love too what East just did here, right? She took the 6 and the 12, which is the creator brand archetype, and the magician brand archetype, and she sees that there's, this opportunity to, it's like to bring it into life alchemy. And those two words, like life being the creator brand archetype, and then alchemy being such a magician brand archetype. And I just love that you were able to identify, how that creates an identity for you, which then gives life to your powered character. So just wanting to celebrate that with you.
Mm.
Mm.
And you can see how, as you're getting clear on the archetypes and how they play together, helps you be clear on your message and your visuals. And when you put your core message and your visuals together, that becomes the expression of your brand that creates that powerful first impression. Zoe, I love this is the core belief, right? You were born to, and that's a really great actually sentence stem to start with. And not that I encourage everybody here to swipe Zoe's copy, but to be inspired by the idea of like you were born to. So you said you were born to thrive in your feminine design. I help you come home to your power and then gift it to the world. Wow, that's so potent. I'm like, I think that's my favorite here so far because
Well,
it installs a belief.
the beautiful reflection I'll give for Zoe's too, just because I know her personally as well, is that I would imagine that you have lover brand archetype as one of your primaries. And what you can see with Zoe's is that the words that she uses are poetic, right? Like that's just
Mm,
like what she just wrote there. It feels like when you read it, it feels like poetry. It feels like it's like, oh, I was born to, right? It's so on brand. And so I just want to bring that up as an example that even the way that you write, just allow your soul to write so naturally. If you allow your soul to write really naturally, you'll start to know what brand archetype you are, right? Because you are writing from that expression. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be sending out slides. I have this whole iconic identity um, presentation that I do where I go really deep into all of these archetypes. And I'm going to send out those slides to you guys so that you guys can go even deeper into each of them because they don't just have the visuals, it also has um, the language, right? Of like, how does this brand archetype, like, what is their
yeah.
language in? And so you're going to get to kind of go even deeper into that.
Carla has so many freaking amazing tools, like Pinterest boards for every brand archetype, even
That's why
even
a little sad.
styles.
I'm a little
Um,
sad right now because we're gonna go into full style, but we're gonna have to do that next Thursday on our next
yeah,
master. Because
yeah. And
they're
so let's do that. Let's
let me give them just a tiny little sneak peek, and then if you guys want to
yes.
join us for next Thursday on our next master class, we'll love to have you guys. that's the thing about this process is it's so deep. It's such a big, beautiful process, that it has all these little pieces in it. And Dima and I, when we sit together and we create master classes, we're like, what do we teach? There's so much to bring to the world.
Yeah.
And so just yeah, so we're excited for we'll have to give this in round two, but I'll give you just a little bit of
Yeah. And
well,
we know we also it's like we know it's a process because even when we do this for our clients and we hold their hands through a process and we have a team of 20 something people that does it. And they're usually at a place where they're already at 7 or 8 figures. They're reinventing themselves or upgrading. And even then it's a 90 to 120 day process and goes really deep. And so, if you're on this class and you're like, well, I'm learning a lot, but I know there's so much more to do. Just know that that's natural. When you're creating a brand from the depth of your soul, some of it will come out authentically and organically, and a lot of it will take time. And so allow this to inspire you, hopefully gets you a few steps further towards a more fully expressed brand. And know that, yeah, this stuff takes time. So use the tools and resources, keep joining the master classes. And I'll have an invitation for you guys after Carla shares this.
so gonna give you guys the little sneak peek and we'll go through it deeper next Thursday. But I created all these Pinterest boards that go even deeper into styling for your next photo shoot. And so if you have one of the brand archetypes of photographer, or sorry, photographer, one of the brand archetypes of explorer, you'll be given all of these different Pinterest boards that can help you to style your next photography session.
Yeah, your
Um,
next photography session and how you show up in the world.
and how you show up and how you
And
design your house and how you design your home and how you design your bedroom and your all your different
right.
spaces.
Right, because it's all an expression of your brand. It's more than just your digital presence and online. So when somebody walks into your space, like what do they feel and experience? That's part of your brand. When you walk into a space and they see what you're wearing and they remember your essence that way, that's all part of your brand.
Yes. So we'll dive deeper into this next week too. Just a little sneak peek here.
And
Yeah,
so,
Tarek's staying with us right now, and he knows that literally every part of my world is very on brand.
yeah, even our dogs. So I have a question for you guys. Just type in the chat. Would you like our hands-on support to continue to define, design, and refine your own signature soul brand?
Oh yeah, we're seeing them
Yes,
yeses.
yes,
Come
yes.
on.
Love
Yes.
all the yeses. And Leanne, you're welcome. Thank you. This is so helpful, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Gabby. It's great to hear. We're really good at it. Yeah, we love what we do. And I love the Steve Jobs quote, the only way to do great work it I mean, is to love what you do. I think that was it. So and we just absolutely love what we do, and so we're so excited that you guys are here because we love the opportunity to teach it and share it and walk you through the process. And we'd love to after this masterclass, whatever you do and apply it with, just send us a quick email, and we'd love to see what you're creating and stay connected. So for those of you that are saying yes, that you'd love our hands-on support to continue to define, design, and refine your signature soul brand, I have an invitation for you. So you have three options to choose from for how we can continue to support you. One is free. Just continue to join these master classes. Stay in touch on social media and over email. So we can see what you're doing and applying with it. And so we can continue to share these tools and teach. And hopefully we'll get to see you next Thursday, and then we'll keep you posted for any upcoming master classes that we're doing as well. Two, and we're not going to talk about this much today, but it's to actually hire InfluX. Um, we don't get our clients through a lot of online marketing or webinars. It's mostly been by referral only. And we have a dream team of 20 plus that actually does this for you. And we're guiding the process personally. Transparently, our packages start at 12,000 for just the signature style alone and range from 36,000 to 90,000 when we're doing all inclusive packages, working with a handful of clients at a time with quite a team. And so it's a process. if this is for you, like if you're like, hey, I already have a 7 or 8 figure business, I can ROI that. That makes sense for me. Or you know somebody who does, just get in touch with us personally, or you can fill out the application on our site. So we're not here to pitch or sell that, but then again, if you know somebody, we're also very happy to receive referrals. We pride ourselves on being the best at what we do because we love what we do and we love who we do it for. And option three, and this is really the first time that we're doing something like this. For Carla, actually, well, we've both done something like this before, where Carla launched Signature Soul Brand as a course in 2020, and it was her most successful and impactful course, and that's part of why she's so masterful at being the brand director at Influex. And then I've launched DIY Do Influex Yourself before. Both of those were 5 years ago. And so we're excited to take everything that we've learned over the past 5 years now and start to teach it. And so we're in the process behind the scenes of creating a full course that we're going to promote out in a big way to the marketplace. We know it's going to be the number one branding course out there, and we're going to get a lot of our clients to promote it as affiliates. That'll be at some point in 2026 because we're really investing the time and energy and money to make it a really epic professionally filmed course. And to get there, we want to work with a handful of people, up to 12. So I'll cover the details on this in a moment. And so the third way that we can support you is just apply to join our Signature Soul Brand Inner Circle, where we'll go through all of the steps that we just briefly covered, step by step, week by week, with all of the top tools and templates and group coaching and feedback to launch your own Signature Soul Brand. The live cohort, this will be a live cohort where we're teaching live, and it starts in January, and it'll be a 90-day process where by the end of that, you'll get to all launch your brands together, celebrate and support each other, and again, get our hands-on support and feedback in a group. So again, this will be 90-day live cohort. We'll do 1 week where we're doing a deep dive training with some Q&A. The following week, you'll get to jump on for hot seats and group coaching. Again, we're limiting this to 12 to keep it a really tight container so we can give everybody more personalized attention. You'll get all of our top tools and templates, like the signature style template, so you can implement it yourself, or for iconic identity template, even some of the website wireframes that we've been working on so that you can, with or without a designer, create your brand into a really well-structured website that converts and more. And we're going to have a private WhatsApp or Telegram thread with myself and Carla jumping in there several times a week to give you feedback, and then you'll get the feedback and support from each other as well. So again, we're limiting this to a dozen souls, 12 entrepreneurs who are ready to define and design their own signature soul brand. The regular investment for when we fully launch this, meaning we're going to put up a landing page, we're going to email this out to our audience and list and make this available, if there's still spots left, is $3,500, which is still just a fraction of what we charge when we actually do this for people. And this is for you, like there's some qualifications here. So it's for you if you already have a business and offers, and you're not just in a place where you've been thinking about starting a business, but you don't yet have an offer in place. Now, while we'd love to serve and support those people, we really designed this for those who already have an offer that you've been selling, but you know that you could be more fully expressed in your brand. You know that you could charge more premium prices and have greater aligned clients and a lot more aligned clients while working less with more ease because you're aligned in your brand. So that's who this is for. And that you're also in a place where you're ready to upgrade or reinvent your brand to be in full alignment with who you are and why you're here. So while we're looking for people that are already in business, we're not looking for people that are just in business to make money. We're looking to work with a handful of people who are in business to be a fuller expression of who they are and fulfill more of their purpose and service in the world. And the other criteria here is you're willing to engage with us. This does take time, and while it's not going to take a tremendous amount of time every week, we do want you to engage to the best of your ability and give us some feedback along the way. And then eventually, as we turn this into a course, we'd love to have your testimonial that we can share out with the world and a case study so that we can also promote your brand in the process and so that we can continue to refine how we're teaching this when we're not hands-on. Because for this group, we're going to be really hands-on, giving you the feedback, doing the training, and feedback and group coaching live. When we launch the course, probably at a similar price point, there won't be our personal attention and feedback involved. So this is kind of a rare opportunity that we're making available. So again, the regular investment for that is 3,500, and we're going to launch it very soon at that price point before we start in January if there are spots left. There's also, and I'm going to share what the early enrollment price is in a moment because we're doing it less for those that are on this masterclass with us because you joined us for our first masterclass. You guys have been super awesome and engaged. Um, you also get, if you end up choosing to at some point in the months after investing in the inner circle, if you choose to say, hey, I just want Influx to do this and execute this for me, if you've already gone through some of the clarity process, we'll actually credit that entire 3,500 a towards one of our Influx services. Other bonus that we're adding in here is for these 12, I'll do a private one-on-one hour-long clarity consult. So basically a one-on-one coaching consulting session. And this is something that our clients pay 600 to 800 depending on level of engagement with us per hour. And then you'll also get instant access to Carla's 2020 course, Signature Soul Brand 1.0, which was previously sold for $3,333. So while some of it is a lot of what we're updating here, there's also a lot of really great things in that course that are timeless. So even before we start the live cohort, you'll get to start going through that if you choose. And finally, to get to the special price. So the early enrollment, and this is both fast action, but you also have some time to decide. So the early enrollment period is until 12/12 at midnight. As you can tell, we love both poetic language and magic numbers. So this will be until 12/12 for 12 people at midnight. And where the regular investment is 3,500, since you're part of this first master class, it's just 3,000 total, which we'll do as 4 payments of 750. So you got to spread that out over the 90 days, or 2,500 if paid in full. And we don't even have a purchase link for that available for you right now. In fact, like if you were like, hey, I'm raising my hand, I definitely want to do this. Right on this masterclass, you can't. And here's why, because we actually want this to be by application only, where we do, you fill out a quick application, we get to know you, and then we do a quick call with anybody that's considering doing this to make sure that we really have the right 12 people. So here's how you do apply if you're interested. You book a paid brand strategy session with Carla. It'll be a one-on-one 30-minute plus call. Normally, that session price would be $250 and counts as a deposit towards the inner circle. If you're selected and choose to join, either way, you'll get a ton of value on that call, and we'll send you some more of our top tools and resources regardless. If you do want to act quick and you're like, hey, I think I want to be one of these 12 and I want to get that one-on-one call with Carla and the top tools and resources, we have a coupon code for you today that's just makes that session instead of $250, just $88, which is Soul 88. So I'm going to drop this link in here and would love to open this up right now for any questions, whether there's any questions around anything that we covered, or any questions around the Signature Soul Brand Inner Circle. And if you're considering joining, anything to help you or others here evaluate that decision for yourself. Thank you, Tarek. And Carla, anything you want to add while as we're closing out here? And Seeing the questions. Thank you, East. Love this too. I feel like everyone on this call would make an awesome inner circle member. I agree. And I really appreciate so many of you are on camera. You've been engaging. You're already thinking deeply about your brand. You seem value aligned. So uh, we'd be really excited to have many of you that are on here in the inner circle.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Teddy.
Um, this is beautiful, you guys. Definitely excited and um just wanted to like kind of get clarity on obviously this is the branding side of things. It's not like you're building us a website or giving us a photo shoot. But like I imagine some things like the word template was involved where it's like, oh, like social media template. Um, can you speak to like what kind of we would get in this other than the branding aspect that's like executable and the difference between, you know, those things and what's included?
Yes. Yes, that's a great question.
Yeah.
And so for the templates, we have there's some wireframes and templates that we do have based on a lot of the top personal brand sites that we've done, and we're refining those. So by the time that this gets to a place where okay, you're ready to build your site, we'll have those even more refined. And then part of the answer here as well is that we'll identify more of what the inner circle members need and actually start to be a little bit responsive, which is why we're not creating some of this in advance. Uh,
Well, I can show. I'm
and
happy to
and
show.
then there's also, yeah, more of
I'm
the,
happy to show Teddy a behind the scenes. If you
yeah,
give
go
me
ahead.
permission to share my screen, Dean.
Yep.
That's a good point. Some people might not need personal photo shoots if they have a product,
Right.
so you don't want to jump the
Right. And
gun.
even for personal photo shoots, so I'm going to send a quick link here, and this is our overall deep dive photo guide. So this kind of you see as an example of a guide and resource for a personal brand photo shoot. But then through the cohort, it's you will work with Carlos, and one of the home plate pieces will be looking at those Pinterest boards and then creating your own Pinterest board and mood board in a way that guides the rest of your brand. And
Yeah.
then you'll be using that to also, another assignment will be identifying your top fonts and colors. And then we'll give you the feedback on those things. When it comes further down the road to the website, as you're starting to create your website, whether you're doing it yourself or you're hiring a vendor, you can drop it into the inner circle chat and we'll give you some feedback on that or bring it to a hot seat session.
Yeah, I'd love to just show you kind of a behind the scenes of what we imagine we're going through. Now, with that being said, with an inner circle, we do want to keep it really, in this place of curiosity. So we have our very unique, very defined process that we want to take you guys through. And there's a lot of spaciousness for us to really, personalize it for your experience. So the first piece, right? It's discover your power character. This is kind of what I like to call it's almost like the initiation space. And so with Signature Soul Brand, I'm not a person that just wants you to find your colors and your brand palette and your motifs, et cetera, and et cetera. What I really want you guys to be in the space of the true deep soul. One second. Guys, we got Prime here, so the pups they just love when Amazon comes. Can you guys hear them barking in the background?
Nope.
Fantastic. Okay. So right, the first piece is like an initiation. It's an all-in commitment. It's a invitation to see like who are you being in the world? What is the brand world that you're creating? The feeling of the brand, which we went through a little bit today. I'm going to go into what's called your character diamond. Teddy, you're going to love this. This is actually what filmmakers and directors use to create characters inside of films. And so I actually have created it in a way that now we use this character diamond to create you as the character of your film, aka your brand. We go into your iconic identities, those identities that we went in today, defining your 7 layers of why. Then we go into your purpose and your promise. So these are going to be ways that we have specific ways that we bring you guys into refining your purpose, your promise. This is all kind of getting you ready for your messaging manifesto, which comes later. We have your values. We're going to go into your clients, the brand triangle. So we start to talk about, your personal, your business, and your product offerings. for me, Avatara doesn't just come with Avatara, it comes with Avatara Adorn. This is my product line, right? So I'm starting to think about what are my other bigger pieces. So I start to help you guys with that. Signature Soul Brand Blueprint, which that's really where we start to bring the refinement of your mini gifts into your one brand channel. I have a really unique way of giving you a template for that. And then if you don't have a brand name yet, we refine the brand name together. Then we go into the design piece. This is, the signature style that we were talking about. This is really where it's like the colors, the mood board, all of those pieces. We have a very templatized way of creating that for our clients. We gift that to you, and so that you're able to do it. We'll have the refine your messaging manifesto, and really what we're wanting to bring you guys into is something that we like to call your iconic identity. So it's all of your signature style, it's all of your messaging manifesto. A little bit of a behind the scenes here. Let's share, what do we think? A live water.
Yeah, maybe live water or Vin. Yeah, because we'll give you guys, we have Figma structures and templates for a lot of this stuff. Um, there's some things that we'll put into Canva to make it easier if you're doing DIY design. But for those that use Figma, we'll have so this is actually a great example for signature style, even before iconic identity, kind of zooming in on like this one example of there's end result here, and then there's the template to get to this.
And
Uh,
then,
and then
uh,
the iconic identity includes this and the messaging manifesto and a lot more.
let's see if
So we'll give you guys like the template and then kind of walk you through as you get the clarity. Here's how to fill this in and create it for yourself.
Let's see for Vin.
So that had a front page of a website as just a little kind of teaser, but obviously not the whole website.
So
Right.
we will help you with, a DIY style. And something to tease and plug here as well is that with Influex, we are in the process of creating something called Influex Lite. So we have a lot of clients that come to us and they're really excited to work with us. They don't necessarily have 30 to 90K to drop on their website. So we're actually creating templates right now that are going to be helpful for those of you who then go through the signature style process. Now you have all of your styling, you have all of your messaging, not all your messaging, but you have your messaging manifesto in which you can create your messaging from, your copywriting from, and you give that all to us, and then we can plug it into these templates. So that's something that I'm just going to tease, but we can't yet officially say that that is going to be live.
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
in.
We will do as part of the cohort though, a session and then some feedback on website strategy, including like,
Well,
okay,
here's
what
the template.
pages based on your brand, what pages do you need? How do you structure out the website? Um, and then I'll share my screen of like the copy canvas for the website.
And this is one of our templates here with like the messaging manifesto. So your brand archetypes. What I was just taking you guys through today of like plugging it into ChatGPT. Here's where your unique archetype comes in. Messaging manifesto, purposeful persona, brand beliefs, authority amplifiers, keyword quality. So we'll take you guys through this whole process of how to find all of these for you as well. Goes on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, and then a header mock-up. There's great ways that we can help you guys to DIY it until you're ready to, invest in a team that can do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll share a quick example. This might be helpful for others as well as again, while this is more focused on brand, when we do get to the how your brand expresses through your website portion, so this is the one from DIY before we'll have an updated version of this because it's actually what we use behind the scenes with our clients. And what our copywriters write in, or sometimes our clients do their own copy. We'll give you guys this and walk you through the process. So as you're creating your website, it's like, okay, here's how you structure things out, what to write where. So this is kind of a sample one, and structured out for each page. So let's say you're like, hey, I want to do a lot more speaking. And we have a bunch of examples and then the structure for a great speaking page. Or same thing with like media and press, success stories, all of that. So we'll make all of these available and do a walkthrough on how to do it for yourself and then do some feedback sessions.
All right. Any other questions before we wrap up here? Thank you guys so much for sticking around and for being with us through this entire process. It's been, yeah, such a joy to be here and to be with each and every one of you guys as you discover and design and refine the next identity of what's coming through for your brand. Any other questions before we wrap? All righty. Well, beautiful, my friends. I'm just going to invite us just for this last final moment, if you feel good and available to drop in with me for just one more moment. I'm going to invite you in this moment to close your eyes, to find yourself in a comfortable position, just wiggle around in your seat a little bit. With your eyes closed, sending a signal into your internal nervous system that right here, right now, you are settled, you are safe. Everything right here, right now is working out best case scenario. And just allow that to breathe into your body. A deep inhale and a deep exhale. As you invite open the channel for your refined, expressed brand on this planet. The brand that is here to illuminate the hearts of many, to be seen for your fully expressed self, and to be of service to those who are ready to receive you in your fullness, you in your mission and your message, you and how you have come here and who you have come here to be. And so take one more really good, full, deep breath in, knowing that right here, right now, the portal, the channel of refinement of your signature soul brand is already activated inside of you. And when you are ready, reopening the eyes. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you again. And have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed rest of your day, week into 2026. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now, beautifuls. You're welcome to unmute yourself if you want to say a farewell on your journey out. Bye for now.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very
That was amazing.
much. Bye-bye from Zurich.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now,
You're so
guys.
cute.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Miss you
Thank you, everyone.
soon.